In this orthokeratology case, the patient got a posterior topography that's decentered a little bit temporally, and also there's some induced cylinder in the posterior refraction. Looking at this topography, it looks like it's captured a little bit too far away from the eye. You see fairly heavy reverse curve, very small treatment zone, and then the appearance of the lids and lashes. They would lead me to guess that this topography was captured just a little bit farther from the cornea than we wanted it to, and it's going to kind of affect how we decide what to do with this lens. Looking at the lens itself, it looks pretty standard. I did measure the cornea to be fairly large, close to 11.9 or 12 millimeters in diameter, so we can probably increase the diameter of the lens a little bit, 11.6, 11.7, and that may help a little bit with the centration of the lens. Perhaps that'll be enough to address the cylinder that's showing up. But again, we want a better topography to decide for sure. So I'd recommend looking through the captures that you have, see if maybe you have a different one where it's going to be a little bit more true to life. The lens is a little bit thin in the middle, pretty thick in the edge, and so we also want to make sure there's no flexure causing some of that cylinder. But otherwise, this lens, I don't think we need to make too many changes. If on the posterior topography we see a lot of this green-yellow transition in the superior and inferior, or the vertical meridian of the posterior topography, then usually what I'll do is steepen the lens in the vertical meridian, increase sagittal depth so that we tighten up a little bit this way. Sometimes we can get induced cylinder if the lens is too tight all the way around, and what we'll see is periphery in the low to mid 20s all the way around. Not much of this green-yellow transition anywhere. In those cases, then I would loosen the horizontal a little bit. But again, whether we tighten this vertical or loosen the horizontal will really depend on what the topography looks like. And so just may need to either bring the patient back or look at a few other topographies to see which situation we are dealing with. But increasing the diameter should help a little bit with centration, and then making an adjustment to the periphery of the lens if needed to address the induced cylinder. There is a chance that just centering this lens a little bit will improve the cylindrical part of the posterior refraction, but probably not completely. We may need to make some peripheral changes, and that will just depend on how the topography looks. So hopefully that helps.